Guys, I'm sorry about the whirring in the background. That's my espresso machine. But I just saw another agitating video about Windows and how it's exploiting its users, as in ads everywhere. Ads? You have ads on Windows now? Dude, that is pathetic. I want to talk about why I don't use the Office suite. I haven't used Office in 10 years. I don't intend to. And I want to lay out my reasons for why I think Office is bloatware and you don't need it. So, Office includes Excel, Word, Outlook too, right? The mail program, and some other stuff that you probably don't use. PowerPoint as well, yeah, PowerPoint. I'm gonna tell you why I think that all of these programs are obsolete, or more personally, why they are obsolete to me. So first of all, everything that is done in Word, I can do either in a text editor like gedit. You know, people, they write to-do lists in Word. I could use any editor. Other than that, I use LaTeX for everything because it's just easy. Once you've got your templates down, it's super easy to use, it's faster. You have a compilation process, but I mean, there are a bunch of modern editors where you don't and you can just see what you get. We would call it what you see is what you get. And the Germans would say, wie sie wirkt. Anyway, so wie sie wirkt editors, they are like a compiler and an editor in one thing, and you could just compile a little bit and then you see a preview. Yeah, we would do that with websites too. It was cringe. Anyway, so in LaTeX I prefer to compile it whenever I feel like it, because I can usually just see what the code will look like as a document later, and I can tweak it when I'm done with the text. So I focus on the content first, and then I focus on the form. And I find it incredibly weird when people are formatting stuff before it's time, right? Before you even get into having your thesis written, you design the title and what font it should be in. Focus on your thesis, dude. So, or on whatever document you're writing. Oh, there it goes. I need my milk. I would love to go vegan, but why is milk so delicious? Oh, there's a crow. I'm trying to feed the crows eggs, but yeah, crows aren't vegan either. But I'm trying to be. I think that plant-based diet is a really cool way to save money and your organs. So let's get back to the problem with the Microsoft Word. For me, the weirdest thing are all the templates that I have and you can download. They're all super bloated and hard to click through. And I believe that a lot of people don't even get what macros are and don't even know how to use a lot of this stuff. Whereas with LaTeX, you have this initial hurdle of understanding how it works, understanding a little bit of the code, and then you can start. And then you can totally just evolve and do anything with it. There are so many packages, there are so many templates, there are so many color schemes and everything. And you can just make everything look exactly like you want it to, but additionally with proper typography. Like in Windows, you will never really get that. There are some tweaks that you can do, but for instance, if you have a book, so this is a book written in LaTeX, it's about differential geometry, and if you look at it against the light, actually, they didn't format it properly. But if you format it properly, not like these mathematicians, holy crap, this is bad. I've done that commercially, actually, typesetting, like as a job. So usually when you hold this book against a light and then you look through it, you should see that the lines, they align, or at least like the top of the line, they align, like the beginning of the paragraph. And it all looks nice and neat and it all comes together at the same spot. Again, the margins are the same. It's just pretty to look at. And with Word, I mean, people say that with modern Word, it wouldn't be the same, it would be better. But dude, it's Word. It's the same shit all over again every year and they haven't improved on so many things. Why would they improve on the basics? They had time for that for a decade. I'm not waiting for them to do that now and then waiting for another 100 things that are still annoying to be improved over what? The next 2 decades? I don't have time for that shit. If LaTeX, it is working right now. It is doing the job. So the work it takes to get into LaTeX. I held a course on that, like a little lecture in university, and that was a semester. What was it, like 20 classes? 10 classes? I don't know. You can do it in 2 weeks. You can learn all about LaTeX in 2 weeks, and then you're not a pro, but you're decent, and you're gonna find your way around, and you will have a decent typesetting program. And I mean, it's even multilingual, because for instance, what is this called when you break up words into parts? You know, separating them into syllables. That thing, when you do that, in LaTeX, this algorithm is actually based on linguistic principles. So it works with any language. That's so crazy. Word could never do that. It's always a mess. And on this algorithm, I haven't seen improvement in more than 10 years. So it's pathetic. Why are we even talking about this? So yeah, I'm not using Word for anything. I haven't used Word in a while. And even if I have a Windows computer to work on, provided by my employer, the first thing that I do is get a ticket for some LaTeX distribution and just say, dude, we're in the research and develop department here. I need this. All my coworkers already have it. And if they don't have it, then I will start a riot. So we will all get it. And then we harass the IT department and write a bunch of tickets until they give us what we want. And if they don't give us what we want, then we say, oh, we can't work without that until, you know, some higher up is complaining that the work isn't getting done. That's how a riot works. Stick together and help each other out when you want some LaTeX. And don't get indoctrinated with this Windows crap. It's spying on you and it's spying on your company. Also, sorry, but a tangent here. I find it super interesting how people go about these NDAs and everything, and you're not supposed to talk about anything. I'm not allowed to talk about anything that I did in my company for 15 years. I don't even know what year is it now. I'm just not talking about it. I'm not allowed to put certain specialties that I have into my CV because my company is afraid that someone else could copy it. But y'all know that we are Googling this shit all day long, right? Because when the research and development department needs to do research, we have to Google things. So Google knows everything that your company is working on. I mean, get the people private sensitive operating systems and search engines. Educate them on that before you let them sign some piece of paper. I mean, your leak is there. Anyway, that's Word. Then let's talk about the other Office applications like Excel. I use R for that. So I'm a programmer, I can use R. I would do whatever I want in R. Not Python, R is way better for statistics. It's easier, it's faster, it's slimmer. And yeah, it's just less wacky overall. The only thing that is nicer in Python is how Python handles regular expressions. But if you know your way around R, you can handle that there just as nicely. So I would use R for anything, Excel-ish. And the thing about Excel is that the only thing it really does is make everything look like a big fat table. And people just love this table view. And I mean, you could use Libre Office for that on Linux, but I don't use that because it's slow and doesn't have a lot of the options. I'm personally just not a fan of it. When I can do massive bulk operations in R within milliseconds, why would I do that in a software that takes seconds to just load? No. If you want to step up your game, just learn R. Or maybe if you already know Python, then try to find a way doing that in Python. But yeah, just any statistics programming language or any programming language usable for statistics, just not C, would be great to manage your data. And if your data isn't formatted in a way so that it can be managed by a programming language in a programming environment, that means your data is not very well formatted. Like intrinsically, something is wrong with your data and your understanding of how to put everything into order. You should work on that and not say, well, but Excel or what is it called? LibreOffice is just easier. No, it's not easier. You just don't know programming. Like it's easier when you know programming, and it's easier when your data is formatted in the right way. So that's like saying, oh, walking is so hard when you are in a wheelchair. Of course, it's hard or maybe impossible for you to walk. For everybody else, it's just easier instead of to sit down in a wheelchair and roll to work. Let me find a better analogy. It's like using your car to go everywhere when you have 2 healthy feet and you say, oh, walking is so hard. I just have to take the car because, it saves me 10 minutes at least. And then you drive to the gym to work out there. See what I did there? I'm trying. Anyway, I don't want to be in a car all day long or in a wheelchair. And I hate wheelchair users. Obviously. But if it's a choice, would it be your choice? Probably not. So the same goes for that kind of crutch that Microsoft software is. You just think it's complicated because you don't know how to do it. Once you actually know how to do it, you're never going to be wanting to go back from being able to use R and write a nice little script to manage your data to using something as bloated and slow as Excel. I'm just thinking about it, it's crazy to me. So, I understand that there are Linux users. They find these super annoying, stupid, weird workarounds because they just don't have nice proprietary software. And I understand it with stuff like Photoshop or Premiere Pro. These are highly specialized programs that I would love to use. I edit my videos in Blender. Do you know how much that sucks compared to Premiere Pro? It sucks donkey ass and donkey balls. So yeah, of course I would love to use Premiere Pro, but I don't want to get that shit on my computer, let alone that my computer is slow, because, I have an old computer. I usually buy second-hand hardware because I believe in sustainability over vanity. Anyway, back to the topic. So the next program in line would be Outlook, right? Outlook, the email program that they have. What does it do? What exactly does it do that another email program doesn't do? In corporate, people are using this to manage their schedules. But you, as a private user, as a person, why do you need to manage your calendar in your email program? That is weird. The calendar, literally, that is the only thing I would manage in Google because there's nothing private in there. I can easily share it. Everyone uses it and I can invite people. That is the only thing I can understand why people would store it in the cloud because it makes stuff easier. Usually I do stuff on paper. It has a discipline-inducing power about it. But if you can't manage to do that, why would you merge this with your email program? That's weird. An email program, that makes sense, to have software that downloads your emails onto your computer where you have to delete it and not leave it in some stupid IMAP forever where Google can read it. That's dumb, okay? You don't want to do that. I understand that you want to use an email program to download all your email, or delete it from your IMAP conveniently. You can use Thunderbird as an email program. It does everything you need and that's it. A lot of the features, that people see in Outlook, to me they are really just bloatware. It's unnecessary. It's not minimalist. I prefer things to be super, super simple and just do what they're supposed to do. The next program in line, what was it? So we had Word, we had Excel, we had Outlook. Oh, and then there's PowerPoint. Well, I just do that in LaTeX. If you want to play video in your presentation, sure, PowerPoint may have 1 or 2 advantages, but not really anymore. Modern LaTeX can do that, I think. But also, that's disgusting. You shouldn't do that. You should interrupt your presentation and present the video in a nice form, full screen anyway. So it's weird to go for this clean look where everything is within your presentation and it's like you live in this presentation and you're not allowed to see anything else on the screen. A talk should be about the content of the talk. And the presentation shouldn't contain much text anyway. The presentation should contain a bunch of equations maybe, not the full deduction. You can do that on a blackboard. It should contain a little bit of subtext, a little bit of, things that people might not pick up on right away, but they will if they see it on the screen again, to just reinforce your message or make an equation more understandable. Just a little bit of redundancy and pictures. That is what a presentation should be. It shouldn't be that fancy anyway. If you need fancy shit in a presentation, your talk isn't good. So yeah, that's it.